This video will show you how to use Pixlr as an image editor to combine and edit multiple images. So Pixlr can be accessed by going to pixlr.com, P-I-X-L-R, and clicking on Pixlr. And there are two options if you scroll down. There's the Pixlr Editor and Pixlr Express. Express does not have the same options. We're going to choose Editor, and you're going to click Launch Web App. The first thing we need to do is open images, and you'll be prompted with the Open Images screen when you open Pixlr. However, I'm going to close out of this and show you how to do it without that. So to import a picture, all you have to do is go to File, Open Image, and you can either open an image on your computer, or if you have the URL of an image online, you can do it that way. I've got the images on my computer, so I'm going to open both of them. And you notice I have two pictures. I have this one in the background, and I've got another one too. Okay, so that's how you import images. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this all in one image. I have two images open right now. So I'm going to take this Earthrise one, and I'm going to copy the whole thing. So I'll click on it, hit Command A, or on your computer, I think it's Alt A to select all, and then you're going to copy this. Now I'm going to go to my other image, and I'm going to make a new layer. This is the layer button right here, and I'm going to click Paste. Okay, and you see that I now have the background, my original image, and I have this layer as well. Okay, so I'm going to close out of the other image now that I don't need. Alright, and I've got what I need to work with for this. Now, I like to make my background a layer, and I'll explain why in a second. So what I'm going to do is see how I turned off this layer using this option, and now I can just see the background. I'm going to copy this all. I'm going to go to layer 1, and I'm going to paste. Okay, so now I've got two different layers. Now, the reason I like layers is because, let me turn them both on. Now, if you drag a layer on top of another, that one goes to the front. And if you have a layer on the bottom, it's going to go to the background. So right now, see how if I drag my layers, they overlap on each other. And what I'm going to do with this picture is I'm going to put this moonrise picture, or excuse me, the Earthrise picture, in the window of my office here. Okay, so what I want to do then is to make sure that my office is the top layer, and now I can start editing. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, when you've got multiple layers, you need to make sure you're on the right layer when you edit. Okay, so under layer 2, I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to go to layer 2. I'm going to turn layer 3 off for a minute. I want to resize this. So I'm going to go to Edit, Free Transform. And now these little squares come up. And I can move these little squares in order to resize my photo. So I'm going to resize it close to the size of my window, probably a little larger. And you see as I resize it that my office is still there because it's a layer itself. So I'd like this earth to be kind of in the upper right hand corner of my window, probably right around there. Okay, so that's what I want it to look like. And now if I turn this layer on, alright, so I think that's about right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this office layer. And I want to delete some areas so that the layer under it, layer 2, shows through. Okay? And the way I'm going to do that is with the marquee tool. So this is the marquee tool. And if I select an area, I can select basically a square or a rectangle. So I'll choose this area right here, and I'm going to hit delete. And you notice that it deletes part of this top image. It does not delete what's under on layer 2. So that picture kind of shows through. Now this is not perfect, and I'll show you how to keep working on it. Alright, and now that I see part of it, what I can do is I can click layer 2, use the move tool, and kind of start situating the image where I think it'll be. So I'm going to continue using this marquee tool for a second. And I messed up there because my layer 2 is highlighted. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo. I'm going to make sure I'm on layer 3. Now that I am, now I can start deleting. And you see that I want the panes of the window kind of to be gone, but at the same time I want to make sure that I've got the edges of the window so it looks pretty real. And again, this is not perfect, and I'm going to show you how to make it perfect. So now I've got a sense of what's coming through, so I'm going to go back to the move tool. There you go, that looks good. Because I want to see some of this moon right here, and then the earth in the upper right hand corner. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to keep working with this. Now, so you can use the marquee tool. You can also use this little lasso tool. And with the lasso tool, when you click it, there are two options, freehand and this point-to-point. When you choose freehand, any area that you select, see how I'm just drawing an area? Okay, I've selected, I've attached, and now I'm going to delete that section. Oops, I did the wrong layer. Go back, make sure I'm on layer 3, delete. But I went too far. I deleted part of this window pane. So I'm going to hit Control Z again. There we go. Okay, but this may be useful to you. Now, a better one for what you're going to do probably is this point-to-point lasso tool. And this is a little bit easier to use because it makes straight lines. See that? And then I can connect them. And once I connect them, then I have the opportunity to do whatever I want with that section. So delete. Obviously I went too far. I'm going to Control Z. But that lasso, freehand and point-to-point, is pretty solid. Zooming may be useful when you're doing this task. So you can zoom in and you can zoom out. And when you zoom in and out, another useful tool is the eraser brush. So another option you can use is the eraser tool. So if I click on eraser, I can change this brush size to smaller or larger depending on what I want. And now, if I'm on the right layer, I'm on layer 3, when I click and drag, you see anywhere I click and drag, it erases that layer so I can see underneath. So that lets you do some fine edge touch-ups. So now I'm ready to save, and the way I do that is I just go to File, Save, and you're going to have the option to share to drive on a Chromebook. I'm going to go ahead and save to drive. I'm going to save to my computer. I'm going to call this Office in Space, and then save it as a JPEG. I'm going to save it as a very high quality. And then save it where you want. So that is how you use Pixlr. Now, the other thing that you'll need to do for this assignment is put that image into Drive. So go to Drive, go to New, go to File Upload, add your image, and you need to make sure to share that image appropriately so that we'll be able to see it because we're going to share all these. So I would go to Share, make sure anyone with the link or anyone at St. Catherine's can view, and then you're going to copy this link and you're going to use that to submit it. But that's what you do for this assignment.